The young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. Yeah. I just had to let you know. Yeah. Give me that work and I can sell it. I put it on the line like I ain't selfish, nah. The story flip if I let you tell it. Put my heart and soul in so you feel it. I ain't never faking, I'm the realest since Tupac in imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within, I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up they octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions, daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on the mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top, it's missing, the opposition ain't. All that lane switching, this is what the game missing. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a Joe like Chappelle show. This so perennial. Do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready?
Get ready, dog.
This be the green light, go. Tires burn the pavement. People wanna know where Mace, Poss, and Dave went. Still here, still in your ear with a style so hot, you'll see where all the sun rays went. Legs, arms, and head, all being moved in a frenzy. The blends be all the right cred, meaning credentials. Best of both worlds when we rockin' over pearls in the instrumental. Are you ready? Ready. Set. Jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter right. Turn it up. We giving the show. But can you rock it like rocket fuel? What you talking about? Space or out your mind? But can you rock it like rockets, fool? That's a close encounter of what kind? Gentlemen. When it was time to get it lit, we got it hot like fever. Sick with the talk, the pass to your receiver. All about running the spot. And you know we got breath control, so no need to take a breather. Cardio kingpin. Subjugate the dub play. And you know we can't wait to bring spins. A-star quizzes, A+ the final. Vocals we align, we'll move it all simultaneously over joints we rock. We earn 30 years so you can say we got 3 turns. Live off the board, unlike you and your chess men. We install doubt in you and your yes men. And if the game had veins, we'll insert upheaval the ground. Cause the adrenaline we blend with the sound is our thing. We're leaving the kings of all crowns. So are you ready? Are you set? Then jump to the rhythm as hard as you can go. Keep it steady. To the letter right. Turn it up, y'all.
From the home of the Bills since 1973, there's a look at the newly named New Era Field just outside of Buffalo, New York. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New England Patriots and the Buffalo Bills. This will be fielded at the 8. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line.
At their own 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. Throwing left side, it's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A well-executed 22-yard gain.
Mike 50. Mike 54.
Allen going to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
And the Patriot first down.
If there was one area that the coach emphasized in our pregame meeting, it was red zone offense.
In a sense, I got from it, and I think you did as well, they weren't real happy with how they were executing previously, so they put a lot of time and effort into it because getting points is paramount. Doesn't matter what you do otherwise, don't leave the red zone without putting points on the board. They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
Hey, watch it. 319. 54. Mike 54. Yo. Right there.
Now on 3rd and 2, they're going to elect to throw with Allen. And that's going to be caught for a Patriot touchdown. From 6 yards away, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of a team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week. We're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
Point after, right down the middle. And it's now a 7-0 game.
Bills nothing.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
The Bills take over.
That's it, baby. We don't work.
At their own 25-yard line.
Set. 8 read. One's the mic. Watch one. Watch one. All day. Now.
They'll run with Ingram here to begin the drive. Ingram churning. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. Well, he's going to have to shake out the cobwebs first time he touches the football, and he drops it on the ground.
So many times we talk about quarterbacks and taking care of them early to get them in the flow with safe throws, right? But with a runner, there is no such thing as a safe run, right? Right out of the gate, you're going to be in some traffic. Got to take care of the ball, and he didn't do that.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Now Allen to throw again. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
You don't want to throw away this excellent field position, but that's 2 incomplete passes in a row. Definitely need something big here on 3rd and 10.
Conversely, defense has done a good job on 1st and 2nd down. The coverage has been draped. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
He could muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a 3rd and very short.
3rd down.
Ready? 70, Indy.
They'll try and sneak it here. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. Only a yard there on the keeper, but that's all he needed. 1st down. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Watch one. Got one. 25.
Ingram. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 11 yards and a Buffalo 1st down.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down with Singletary. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
Letting one go deep for the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
When offenses dial up big shots downfield, they're not always for the guys out wide. Sometimes they want to go to their big target, deep downfield, and the defense breathes a sigh of relief. 50-50 balls, not easy to get away from the big targets.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. It's a pickup of 17 on that one, and a Bills 1st down.
Let's give a little credit there. The offensive play caller sensed that the screen pass was available. Whenever you're getting a lot of heavy pressure towards your quarterback, that's when you're thinking about running the screen and using that pressure.
And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. So more problems here in this first quarter. Already 2 scores down, and here they give away the football.
And if I'm the head coach, I think it's time to start lighting a fire under some of these guys. Now, you have to do it within your personality. They can't perceive it as fake, but I'd go get after some guys because they don't look ready to play to me. They look flat, uninspired. It's time to get moving.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. It's a gain of 35.
sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. You ain't got nothing. You ain't got nothing.
From just shy of midfield, Allen, he's letting it fly. It's caught inside the 25. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain there of 30 big ones. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Now it looks like we've got a Patriot down, slow to get up. We'll check on his status when we return to Orchard Park. They'll run on 1st down. It's Logan. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. T.J. Logan, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Patriots, they add on to their lead. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
Yeah, that was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown. So nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
But following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13.
He's crashing. He's checking crash. X3, 218, chopper. Check, crunch, now.
On 2nd down, here's a run with Singletary. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
The tackle made by Stephon Gilmore. A gain of 10 brings up 3rd and 4.
17-0 our score after 1.
Check.
17. Bills nothing.
Set, ready? 18, Gator. Watch the backer. Kill.
Back to the ground, this time with Ingram. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. Fielded just inside the 30. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Patriots take over.
Like this.
The Pats at the line, ready to go. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Let him know, let him know. Let him know.
This is Logan. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
And it's 3rd down.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. And that's knocked away and incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A 47-yard punt, maybe a couple on the return. And the Bills will be backed up to start the drive. They'll have it 1st and 10. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And this has not been their best half so far. They're down double digits already and now forced to operate from inside their own 5.
And what they have to do now is not curse their fate as much as focus on the task at hand. Inside their own 5-yard line, they got to be careful of taking care of the football and not turning it over for the defense to score additional points. For those who watch the game and want to question the courage of the guys who play on the corner, how about when you see a toss sweep coming your way, yet you still go into the backfield, get past the blockers, and make the tackle? That's big league.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. From their own 2, Charles, they opted to throw it instead of run it. We saw the outcome.
And I think what a lot of teams count on is defenses to stack the line of scrimmage, trying to force a safety or force a turnover there. But if you've got a good defensive front, you just allow them to play the run and everyone else stays ready. And they were, and they picked that one off.
On 1st down, Logan. And he'll take this down for about 4 yards, down to the 15.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
On 2nd down, it's Logan. He takes us down to about the 12 for a gain of 3.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
An extra defensive back here for the Bills on 3rd down. So the shotgun snap to Allen. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. And his kick here is good. And the lead now increases to 20-0. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
Want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Now he's going to swing this one out to his running back. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed, but all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Jonathan Jones. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half, and you hate to ask the question, but let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next year?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here, but he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
A good passing down here, and they send 3 receivers to... right of the formation on 2nd down. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. Who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
Throwing now is Allen. He's got his man. That's Wallace. 14 yards is the pickup there and a New England first down.
We didn't need to ask around the league, but we got to confirm this guy's a good player. They've got to find a way to get him more involved, call a few more plays that target him.
Absolutely, because here we are toward the end of the first half, and that's the first target, not just the first catch, first target.
Watch the screen. Go Mike 50, Mike. Hey, orbit. I got you, boy. Mike's 50, Mike's 50. Come to my work. We won. We got you.
Throwing on first down is Allen. Looking for Cooks, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21, and he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of it.
And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack.
3 scores down, not even a halftime yet. They are not getting much generated offensively. They've got to figure it out.
It's tough because this defense just seems to be playing with so much confidence right now.
They really are. They are on their toes, and they're getting at them.
Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one covers 29 yards. First down. been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
He's going to go for a big play downfield. That's caught inside the 20. That one good for 37 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone. And that is caught. Touchdown, Buffalo. Dawson Knox in the final seconds of the first half as they are now on the board here in the first half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed, and a lot of football, a full half to be played. The Pats at the line, ready to go. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead. Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered. How did they get that done? And they extend their lead, a little added cushion into the lockers. What a way to finish. Tremendous way. That's momentum that they carry in with them. Can they convert it and bring it back out to start the third quarter? We have hit halftime. Still 2 more quarters to go. We'll take a timeout. We'll be back after this. You're watching the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. It's in the game. So here we go for half number 2. The Patriots with the lead, and they will be getting the football.
Good one, boy. Let's go. Let's go. Ready?
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room. And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this. This is intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. That's not one that he's going to want to remember, but he had to get it out of the way at some point, his first career interception. And if he's the guy that they think he is, he's not laughing it off, but he's also not going to let it affect him as the game proceeds. He's going to go back out there, still be the same confident kid, the reason that they drafted him, and go out and play. They'll run on first down. Logan. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. Sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards. I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. 2 of the top running backs in NFL history. It is taken in by Cooks for a Patriot touchdown. Brandon Cooks with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Pats take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps. I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. And not much, maybe a yard up to the 29. Now 3rd down is looming, a pickup of 2 on 1st down and just 1 yard there.
A 1-yard gain brings up 3rd and 6.
Ready. Yeah. Double tight, guys, double tight. You got 3 down. Get it.
To throw on 3rd down. McKee. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
We're into the second. Half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off.
Here we go.
So they're going to come to the line here, and it appears try to go for it on 4th.
Bravo. So Mike's number one. Go. Ready.
They'll try and throw for it here. He's going to wind up and air it out. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Boy, a curious decision to go for it. Doesn't pan out. And the Patriots take over, and they're going to have terrific field position.
Check. Watch 54. There's a party now.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
At the 24-yard line.
Mike's 5-4. Mike's 5-4. Check.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. And down inside the 15 he goes. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Mike's round 80. I'm coming, baby. Woo!
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And that'll be incomplete. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Trips over here. That's overload. 56. 50, go.
Allen going to throw again. He's able to find Wallace. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. They'll run it here with Logan. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down.
Well, this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football, and they just swarmed and stuffed them for almost no gain.
And this one is right through. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So 3 field goals that he's hit now. This last one helps him stretch out the lead.
He's been solid, hasn't he? And he lives up to the adage that every offensive coach has ever said to us. We want to end every possession with a kick, right? For them, it's either extra point, field goal, or at worst, a punt. In this case, it's been 3s.
Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. On 3rd down, Stanley. And this one caught by Beasley. And he'll be brought down at the 28, and that is well short of the 1st. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. They failed once in this spot earlier, but the offense will stay out to go for it on 4th down.
Hey, Haywood! Mike one! Now!
They're going to try and throw. And that is caught. He's got his running back downfield. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A big pickup there, 20 yards as they convert on 4th.
Check. First down. 61, matchbox lights. Here we go. One's the mic. Watch one. Here I come. Shoot. SOS.
Now with a play clock at 4, we're going to get a timeout called. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter.
Ready. 60 outlaw. Tight end right. Everyone got 4 down. Deep dribble.
Operating from the gun. Stanley, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Reuben Foster, the former national champion at Alabama, gets in for the sack. Back to throw. Stanley, and the pressure gets to him again. Reuben Foster, his 2nd sack of the night.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Hey, foxtrot. 5.
From the gun, Stanley. And that will be late. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And how about this? 4th and long, and they're going to go for it. They're indeed going for it as they look to throw. Then he finds Beasley complete. A surprising move to go for it, and predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off, and it'll be a turnover on downs. The Pats at the line, ready to go. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I bet you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they? They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They run again with Logan. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. That'll be a New England first down, a gain of 12.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Middle. 54. I'm coming. Under 10. Under 10. 10.
On first down, it's Logan. Room to run again. The 20. And finally taken down at the 15. That one 28 yards on the ground.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll run with Harris. They stopped after only a yard, taking it down to the 14.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
On second down now, it's Logan. And power running here down to the 6-yard line. Calling an 8-yard gain, much better shape now on third and just a yard.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's first and goal. Allen taking it himself. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
Okay, got him halfway there. You don't see the sneak all that often from the 2-yard line because you definitely don't want to see your quarterback get clobbered. But you wonder if we might see the same play again.
Second and goal from the 1. Allen now on the sneak. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a third down.
Now, that was a little too conservative for my liking. It's only second down, and they try to run the sneak. Give credit to the defense. They pushed them back and set up third down.
New England on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. They're looking at a third and goal here. Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a fourth down. Defense didn't budge on third down. Now what are we going to see on fourth?
We are soon to find out, but does this feel like old school football or what?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
This is an old-fashioned goal line stand. I know what I would call on offense. I would go for it. I want some type of a play where my quarterback has a chance to run it or throw it. I don't just want one static play.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive.
Watch one. Watch one. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. Wide. Get wide. Hey, check. Go.
The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
He's taken down at the 33-yard line. A 6-yard pickup.
Ingram again. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, it's almost a tendency breaker.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
Come on, set. 60 Pittsburgh.
Here we go.
Hey, exit.
Here we go. Here we go.
2nd and 11. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Well, it just seems like all game long there hasn't been a lot of sync quarterback to wide receiver on this side of the football.
They haven't been on the same page, quarterback and receivers. Heck, they haven't been on the same grease board when you draw plays up. They haven't been on the same surface tablet that you look at on the sidelines. Nothing's worked for them. They've got to find a way to start matching each other's movements.
Now they go for it on 4th, but this one is going to wind up incomplete. The Bills' drive stalls out on 4th down. And the Patriots take over, and they're going to have terrific field position. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Check 9.
They run with Logan. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. So the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here. Now the ball comes loose. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked off by Stephon Gilmore. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. The Pats at the line, ready to go. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game, and that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. On the carry, it's Logan. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. The Bills are going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the run. Watch the run. Check out.
They'll try the left side. Logan. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Patriots, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week. Meanwhile, for Buffalo, the difficult season continues as they drop to 1-8. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon.